Hey guys, Kaylin from Coastal Carolina living here. We're about to head to the beach to do some paddleboarding with the dogs, but tonight for dinner we're going to have a Sheepshead seafood. I think it's pronounced pho. Please don't come at me. Please tell me how to pronounce it properly. So we're going to go ahead and start by making some fish stock. This is going to be as close to kind of some of the traditional recipes I was reading about online. Some of the ingredients I just couldn't find in my area, and of course we're going to be using fish and not beef. But come along as we do this. Alright, first I'm going to go ahead and get all my veggies chopped up. I've already sliced my ginger in half. I'm going to chop up a couple onions, some garlic, and some carrots. We're going to pan sear it all to get a nice crust on it first. And then we're going to throw it in the pot with some seasonings and the fish carcass and go ahead and get it boiling to make some broth.
Go.
So I've got my cast iron pan here. You're going to want to use cast iron for this. I feel like when you're trying to char vegetables, it works the best. I have a little bit of venison tallow in here that we made, and we're going to go ahead and first toast our spices. So we have cardamom pods, cloves, coriander seeds, and cinnamon. The only thing I couldn't find was star anise, so we're going to just go ahead and make these. And we're just going to toast these until they become really fragrant. Those are nice and toasted. I'm going to get them out of my hot pan so they don't burn. And I'm going to just add them right in here to my stock pot. I'll make sure I get all those little seeds out of there, because any burnt flavor, even if it's just a little, any burnt parts are just going to come through in the stock. Now we're going to go ahead and char some of our vegetables. So we're going to take, we've got ginger that I've just sliced in half, our garlic cloves, and I don't have too much oil in here because I want them to get a good char on them. Our onion. Can I take a picture? Alright, once we get a good char on them, you can go ahead and flip them just kind of to the other side, kind of get them charred on all sides. Alright, we have our toasted spices and our vegetables in the pot. We're going to go ahead and add in some fish sauce with a little bit of soy sauce. We've got some brown sugar we're going to sprinkle in, and then plenty of salt too. We're going to go ahead and get our fish carcass in here and then top it off with filtered water, and we're going to let it low and slow simmer for probably a few hours. Alright, the fish we're going to be using for our stock today is sheepshead. That's the same fish we're going to use in our actual soup. This is one, we save all of our fish carcasses. If we're not using them for stock, we use them for crabbing bait. So we really try to use the whole fish. So we're going to go ahead and just top this with some filtered water. We'll add a little bit more on there. And then we're just going to add in a little bit of lemongrass. Usually, because we have a hard time finding fresh lemongrass around here, I use the stuff in the tubes, but they didn't have that today, and they had the tiniest little baby stalk of fresh lemongrass. So that's what we're going to go ahead and add in. Just kind of break this apart a little bit. Alright, so we've got our fish, all of our spices, and our vegetables in our pot. I had a little bit of cilantro stems kind of left over from another dinner that we made, so I threw those in there. We're going to let this come to a boil, then we'll reduce it to a simmer for a couple of hours. Alright, we've got our soup at a nice boil. It smells absolutely delicious. We're going to go ahead and turn it way down so that it will just simmer while we are gone. Alright, we are home from the beach. Our soup is nice and brothy, so we're going to go ahead and strain it. Alright, we're going to double strain it with this fine mesh strainer just to make sure no bones got through. Now we're going to bring this up to a boil. Alright, I've got all our toppings for our soup mix chopped up. So we've got mushrooms, a little bit of jalapeno, sugar snap peas, some bok choy, lime, cilantro, and green onions. We're going to slice our fish up and then get everything pilated. Alright, I have got 2 sheep's head fillets. We're going to go ahead and get these open. I took them out of the freezer right when we left, and they've probably been in the fridge for maybe 3 or 4 hours. I like them to still be a little bit frozen. That way they're easier to chop. And so I'm going to cut this into 2 pieces. Alright, I'm going to try to do this so that you can see. We're just very thinly going to slice the fish into very thin pieces because it's not going to be cooked until you pour the boiling broth over it. So you want them nice and thin. Just like that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start to assemble our bowls. So in our bowl, first we put down these organic rice noodles. We're going to go ahead in with our toppings. We're going to do some mushrooms, some sugar snap peas, a little bit of bok choy, some cilantro, a little green onion, some jalapeno, and some lime. And then I like to have my fish kind of right on top of my noodles. That way as I pour the hot broth over it, it will cook it. Alright, we've got this broth just absolutely at a rolling boil. So we're going to very slowly start to ladle some out and over our fish, and you'll be able to see it cook the fish. And it will also cook our noodles along with all of our vegetables. Alrighty, we'll let that sit for a couple of minutes and then it'll be time to enjoy. Alright, y'all, so we are just sitting down to eat.
You made it in the video.
This smells so good. Alright, taste it and tell us what you think.
Alright, so I got a chunk of fish and a pickled onion.
I did add pickled onions on top. I did not show that in the video earlier.
The broth is amazing, first of all. Fish is really good, super flaky. Hi, June. Yeah, this is probably my favorite way to eat fish.
My peas are still a little crunchy. My mushrooms are cooked perfectly. Bok choy is perfectly cooked. Y'all gotta try and make this. Peace out.